Welcome to a new review video. In this video, I'll be looking at an album that I have multiple copies of. Just things turned out that way, and that's not a bad thing. And the album is Metallica's Master of Puppets. This is the 3 CD Blackened Recordings edition of the album. Basically, this is the condensed down version of the box set, put down to 2 CDs. So this was put together by the band, of course. I'm sure I am certain they worked on listening to audio tapes, cassettes, and live shows that were recorded, as well as live footage to put that box set together. They were more than likely heavily involved in that and really brought a great box set to the fans. I may buy that someday once the price is right, if it does go down to a reasonable price, or if I can just find it at a record shop for a good deal. But moving onward here, the Metallica logo on this front cover here is raised, so it gives it that really cool 3D effect, as well as the crosses and the album title, the helmet here, so that's really, really cool looking. And I do plan on protecting that to keep that intact. So I will be buying some protective sleeves to protect my audiophile albums. This is not an audiophile album, but it does sound really good, and I'll get into the sound here in a second. But let's look at more of the outer box. Here's the spine here, very cool. We'll talk about the track listing a little bit. This is going to be hard to see due to shadows, and I do want to upgrade the lights in this room, make it a little bit better. We just have the CD1 is just the straight album remastered, just the regular tracks that we've come and known to love over the past 32 years. Funny enough, I was born in 1986, so these albums that came out in 86 are very close, near and dear to my heart, and they really mean a lot. But I mean, this and Peace Sells But Who's Buying by Megadeth came out in 1986. But you have CD2 is riffs, demos, rough mixes, and interviews. Now I have heard some of the live tracks on here. I think Master of Puppets is the thing that should not be. Welcome Home Sanitarium. The rough mixes I haven't heard. I maybe heard half of them, but they're not all presented here, unfortunately. So that's gonna entice me to get the box set, which I originally was not gonna get, but I'm really leaning towards getting it. You got Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion. Damage Inc. The Money Will Roll Right In, which is a work in progress rough demo. This is really, really cool. The Prince, which they did record again during the And Justice for All recording session, and they did release a cover of this the Prince song on Garage Inc. And then the Metal Madness magazine interview with Cliff, which I've never heard. That's 19 minutes and 30 seconds long. But we have CD3 is live from the Damage Inc. tour. But you have, the album tracks here again, along with some Ride Lightning tracks, and some select tracks off of Kill 'Em All, and a few singles that came out during that time. But this comes in a trifold cardboard digipack layout here. One of the discs is in my Sony Walkman, and yes, I still use CD players, record players, along with MP3 players and streaming. So here you get an offer to get the book that comes with the box set by itself, just the book, and I may take them up on that offer if they're still available. But I love this new smell that always accompanies these kind of booklets, and that smell does fade with time. But you get all the lyrics here, which were included in the original album and all the CD releases over the years. But you get the lyrics to every single song on the album. Some new live photos that have, some of which have never been seen before, of each band member. Some of these I have seen, but interestingly enough, the live photos that were included in the original album are not present here. Some of these house photos or whatnot were included in the original release, but in black and white only. So more live photos there of the guys. Track listing of the bonus discs. Very cool. There's the band in the studio, likely when they were recording Master of Puppets. And James there going cross-eyed there. A promotional photo. Very nice, very cool. Just very well put together package here. I wish more bands would do stuff like this and release something, you know, that's presentable. As far as the sound goes on the remastered portion of this album, let me get the whole package here in front of you guys so you can see it while I explain it. So as far as the sound goes, I would have to say this is the best sounding version of this album that I've heard, and I've heard almost all of them over the years, except for the original record. I've heard the original 1986 Electra CD, which I do own now. That sounds muddy. Probably the worst of them all. Then I have the 1987 Music for Nations CD. That sounds great. The 87 Music for Nations vinyl sounds amazing. The 1989 Vertigo pressing sounds pretty good, somewhat close to the 87 Music for Nations pressing. And I have the 1995 pressing as well. That's the loudest of the bunch and the worst sounding of the bunch. But it does have better looking cover than the original. This is my new favorite version of this cover. It's nice and clear. The colors are not too dark or not too bright like in previous releases. It was either or with those. So let's get to the sound. It has been just remastered, but once again with this, it sounds like almost like a remix. Everything sounds open and clear, and the instruments are not fighting to be heard. It's everything. The drums are more audible. The hi-hats, the cymbals, the drums are more thunderous, more than ever before, but it's not too overbearing. The bass and the drums is not too overbearing. Cliff's bass, it's basically setting where it's always set in the playfield, so to speak. You know, the mix in this sonic spectrum of an album. The guitars sound have more crunch, more depth to them. The vocals sound a little more airy, a little more natural. But yeah, just overall great remastering job done. And more bands should do remasters like this. Do it right, make it sound right, make it sound better. And I'm glad Metallica has their own record label and is doing these albums justice now with these great remastering jobs. So I hope this continues with the And Justice for All, the Black Album, Load and Reload. Garage Inc. could use a remastering as well, so we'll see about that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to put in the box set for the Black Album. I already know what's going into the box set for And Justice for All, and I may get that along with Master of Puppets. The Black Album, that's my favorite album by Metallica, next to this album. This has always come first, or it eventually did, as far as my favorite. But great dark album, well worth owning for any Metallica fan. This is the version to get, or you can get the 1 CD 2017 Blackened Recordings Remaster. I thank you for watching this video. If you like what I have to offer on this channel, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. Doing so lets me know you guys like this content, and I will produce more. So thank you again for watching.